This is the shortcut for playing a song like Meditation, which has, in this particular line, we've got E minor 7 to A7, we're going to ignore the sharp 5, D minor 7 to G7. What that has in common is it's a progression of a minor 7th to the dominant 7 of the 4th above it. So right now, if you're playing the chords straight out, it sounds like this. So one of the cool things about dominant 7s is that you can usually add a flat 9 to them to make them sound funky. And so, for instance, with the A7, the flat 9 is here. That's the B flat. But since I don't have particularly large hands, I'm going to lose the root and just play the 3rd, 5th, 7th, and the flat 9. You notice that this is actually a C-sharp diminished chord. So instead of playing a dominant 7, we go a 3rd up and play the diminished chord here. Same thing for the G. Instead of playing a G dominant, we can go a 3rd up and play the diminished chord. So what that sounds like is that sounds really cool, but you notice that my hand's jumping back and forth a lot on the keyboard. But one of the things that makes it a lot easier is when you realize that, so now we're going from the minor 7th, up a 4th, and then up a 3rd. Well, this is actually, it's got the same notes for the diminished chord as the original note does. So, I mean, for instance, the E diminished, there we go, E diminished has the same notes as C sharp diminished, which is what we were originally playing as a replacement for A7 flat 9 rather. So, instead of going back and forth on the keyboard, all we can do is play the minor 7th chord and then change that to a diminished chord. And if you notice the difference between these two chords, these notes are the same. And we move the top two notes down a half step. And then with the D minor 7 and the D diminished. So instead of going from, it's a lot easier to do. And that's the magical secret of isomorphic happiness.